Oh my God. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, I'm actually probably about to change some things up on YouTube, especially once I get a grip on just my life, my lifestyle. Like, I bought my home a year ago. By the grace of God, I've been here for a year. Like, I own my home for a year, but I'm still getting used to balancing certain things, and I have certain goals for like the future. So I've been really working hard to kind of get everything in order so I can make things work in a way that benefits me, as it pertains to like my finances, my lifestyle, stuff like that. Um Obviously, the goal is to buy another home. We're looking at a single family home, so I'll have my home and the single family home. But I want to, because I'm not a fan of like not having ownership of a home that I'm supposed to live in and feel like it's on my home. I definitely want to ensure that things go a certain way so that I can, one, protect myself. I guess that's the biggest thing, especially when we're looking at things like marriage, stuff like that. Um, but I also, um, want to grow my wealth, right? It's just time. I've been in, like I said, I've been doing this for a year. I have, been a bit comfortable just because like it's like, man, I accomplished so much in 2025. It's ridiculous. More than what I think I did, because I feel like it was easy to accomplish. And so this year I noticed I'm kind of hungry. I want more. I want more. I want more. So with that being said, you guys, that's where my headspace is at. I'm hoping that I'll be able to, because I've been getting some ideas for my YouTube. And so I do hope to revamp that here within the next few months. Give me some time. But anywho, y'all, I wanted to talk about, and I'm actually gonna probably put you guys on a brief, like you guys won't see my face or anything like that. Just because I'm cooking and I've got kind of some other things going on, but I really wanted to talk to you guys because this has been on my chest. I've been kind of paying attention to what's been going on. And it's hard because I'm a black woman, right? I'm a black woman. So I look at things from a conservative standpoint to a point, because I'm never going to um disregard my skin color. I'm never going to act as if I'm not black. I'm never going to pretend that I can't see it. And so, while I understand that some people may feel like what's happening is not about race, it kind of really is. And I want to, and I apologize for those if y'all feel like I've offended you. But I feel like as a black woman, we go through things that a lot of other people could never relate to, right? And so when it comes to race, I'm always going to stand for me, my people, the people who look like me. And I wouldn't even care if they were my people or not. Like, the reality is right and wrong is wrong. And when people are wrong, they're fucking wrong. And so I want to give my take on what's happening, and really where I see this going. I'm trying to remain neutral, but I will tell you this. I've said in the beginning, I said this in every other video that I've said had, um, folks, when you give what is it? Absolute power corrupts at absolutely. That's what we're looking at. That's what I feel like we're looking at. This is why I keep saying integrity is key, because doing the right thing with certain power is very important. And when people move in manners that are selfish, that only benefit them, that is not thinking of others, that's a problem, right? So we're really going to talk about this. And again, when I say that this channel, when I started this channel, I always stated I have no problem, right? Having a conversation about hard things, right? I don't care if I feel like where truth is needed, and maybe it's my truth, but I feel like it's a viewpoint that needs to be um heard. It needs to be kind of seen, right? And I think right now folks are making a big mistake. They're making a huge mistake. Let me get into it, y'all. Give me one moment. So when it pertains to this ice situation, let me say this, and this is part two, right? Because we touched on the racial aspect of things, and it's a big deal, right? You've got this situation where the president is coming out and saying, well, the dude shouldn't have had a gun, right? Sorry, y'all, that is my camera. I keep a camera everywhere around me in my house. I love the fact that I got my cameras everywhere so I can see everything. I got to figure out which one was in the back because that's the one that's ready. Y'all, I'm making these sandwiches that are gonna be like my little signature. Rest in peace to my old roommate. He taught me how to make them. Uh, they're really, really good the way I make them. But I will never forget where I learned how to make them from. So I was gonna do a baked potato, maybe a little bit of steak, but the sandwiches were just probably as expensive, but they were quicker. So that's quick is important. Um, but as I'm getting pulling these sandwiches out the oven, you know, here's my deal, and I don't mean to, sound the type of way, but it's very unfortunate. You got a president that's supposed to be MAGA, and you've got a whole, so what MAGA stands for, right? And what MAGA supports, right? This, I would say that MAGA is not necessarily full of racist, people. It is a very interesting election that we had. Being that this election brought out, it kind of sought out the worst of the worst when it came to, it's like this. I'm trying to explain this the way that I'm thinking it, but I voted for Trump in 2020. And the reason why I voted for Trump is because I believed in his policies. Um, and not just policies, but I believed in what he stood for. I'm definitely aware of I done read the whole, I know some things, right? I've been I've been researching a lot of things. And I have been doing this for a very long time. This is probably the first time in my life that I've kind of slowed down, and stopped. Uh, Hang on, y'all. Give me one sec. This is probably the first time in my life that I've really just stopped paying attention to some degree to the politics in the world around me, things that are going on in the news, right? Um, but I've been following certain things for a very long time, and my beliefs are pretty strong when it comes to this, how the world works, right? Let's just put it that way. So my belief is there are certain things when we talk about people playing both sides, uh, politics being two wings of one plane or two wings on one bird or whatever, right? It's essentially the going to the same destination. Uh, this is kind of where folks are not trying to wake up. This election was able to attract a lot of different kinds of people and people that I would never stand side by side with. Uh I keep saying because I'm trying to really think of my words carefully. I would never sit side by side with. The only way you would get me to sit side by side from some of these people that voted for Trump, his actual base, is if I had to work with him. The conservatives, there's a difference in conservative and there's a difference in, you know, I mean, just flat out, racist. And I think that the way this administration has been moving is starting to kind of, MAGA is starting to kind of see in some places, not all, right? That yeah, this isn't quite what we voted for. Meaning, yeah, let's support the idea of, people coming into, going around and making sure people have proper identification, that they're legally allowed to be in this country. And that's only because I work very hard and I've gone into this, right, as a black, I worked very hard to get to where I'm at. I feel like people should be in this country legally. And I feel like the benefits that some of these folks get is insane. It got to a point where, I mean, it was out of control. At least that's what was in our face every day. You know. Now everybody's in support of this ICE, including me, and I didn't vote, so I don't got no say, according to some, and that's okay. I'd rather be on the side of righteousness than on the side of evil, right? You have this situation where these people are being, everybody, this government group of people. Now, let me back up before I get into this. I stated that there were certain groups of people that this administration attracted upon the election. So you're dealing with conservatives, which I've already, in my mind, I feel like there's a lot of people who probably voted for Trump, not knowing that, again, with a level of faith and hope that integrity would be used throughout this administration. Okay. That things would go in the way that they had saw things going, because certain arguments were very brilliant in terms of the quality of life that Americans live, right? And others were a bit more controlling in different areas as it pertains to women. This ICE situation we're about to get into, there's a lot of things happening that folks are trying to not see or something. I don't know. However, we have a situation where you have these groups of people. So it's going to be your red incels, your red pill types of men. This is why you saw a lot of black men sway over to the Republican Party, is because these males are also incels. These men are red pill men. So they all have one ideology, and there's a lot of language that is being used that threaten women's rights right now as a result of Trump being in office. Excuse me. Whether it's Trump or not, that's not my argument. I'm just saying these conversations are being had just a little bit more now that Trump's being in office. Okay. So now that Trump's in office, you've got his buddies, which I don't know how, I just don't understand how this administration chose a guy like a JD Vance. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't support it. I don't support it at all. So you got an administration where they've now got a JD Vance who is actually very much tied to the likes of Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, right? In office. A dude that makes me question. I find it hard to believe that he really likes women. Okay. And I mean, in terms of like respecting women. With that being said, this is just my opinion. This is what I see. This is just what I feel like is going on. You've got a lot of red incel men, red pill, I call them red, but whatever, red pill men who follow Trump, who support Trump. You've got a lot of men who are, and women who are racist, who support Trump. And so you have these two factors, these groups of people that folks try to act like don't exist, right? They do exist, who support Trump, who then in turn support this kind of behavior, this lack of the stuff we're seeing is kind of like I feel like it's an overbreach, right? We're overstepping our bounds in certain areas. See, it's hard because I'm Black, I'm a woman, and I'm an American. And one of the biggest things that I was trying to say this morning, people, there is an agenda or prophecy. See, and I wish, the reason why I talk about it, but I can't quite pinpoint where I learned this from, what book I read. And I did read a book on it because let me tell you, I read a lot. When I was studying this stuff, I was on, what's that, Julian Assange's old website? That website, that was one of my favorite websites to always go back to and look up stuff and make sure that, what we were learning was correct. But there is a prophecy because there's a whole story. The idea of the New World Order is a whole prophecy in itself. It's a whole prophecy. So the idea that the American people would be begging for what they ushered in. And I keep telling you guys another thing, that 45th president, y'all, don't quote me on exact facts. I can Google it and y'all can Google it. The president, the number matters, right? Anyway, I'm not going to go into that, but if you know, the number of the president matters, right? In terms of who's supposed to usher this stuff in. Alex Jones. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's like, nah. Alex Jones, Bill Cooper did a podcast. Some of y'all probably gotta go on BitChute or Red, whatever you guys need to be on, Rumble, to go find it. But it's a video because they didn't try to scrub this off the internet. It seems like, because it used to be something you could find easy. A lot of this stuff you could find easy. Where he's telling you Alex Jones ain't no good. Alex Jones is about to lead y'all to the slaughterhouse. Talking about how Alex Jones was quote unquote COINTELPRO, which I know he tried to debunk. I mean, that's cool. But I'm just saying, I just want y'all to put this in perspective. Just put it into perspective. So you have a administration that is the number that's supposed to usher all this in, and I can't quote y'all on the number right now. Supposed to usher all this in. And then you have Bill Cooper, what he said. When you look at Alex Jones today, in support of Donald Trump, despite everything this man has covered in his lifetime, uncovered in his lifetime, and how many millions of people done followed right behind Trump. Mm, that's deep. It's real deep. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's a few groups of people, okay, including your conspiracy theorists. But the thing is, the conspiracy does not change just because you like the person, right? And I'm not saying that Trump is a bad guy or good guy or anything like that, because I don't know any of these people. I've never met them. I'm just saying what my thoughts are. I'm just trying to connect the dots. We're going to get to the point in here in a second. Follow me or try to. So you got all this stuff happening, right? And you got this ICE situation where people were saying, if you allow them to do this, it's going to come back on you. I remember the Democrats saying that, like, man, if you allow ICE to go into neighborhoods, it's going to come back. They're going to do what they do to you. But the crazy thing is, it's amazing how one side over the other decides when they want to understand the prophecy and when they don't. But what was interesting is that the Obamas did support that movie. What was it? Leave the world behind. And I've always wanted to know why. And I don't know that anybody has ever asked them that question. They only speculate and have comments to say. And it's like, well, why not just ask them? All these interviews they doing, these podcasts they doing, who's gonna ask the question, why'd y'all support this movie? I don't want no bullshit. Oh, well, we support the director and we wanted to help him and he came to us with a business proposition. No, why did you feel the need in your heart to back that movie? I swear to God, that's the question I want to know. I feel like that's the question nobody's freaking asking. For real. So when I see the situation, I don't know these people from a can of paint. I don't know their integrity levels. I don't know what they do, what they're about. All I know is what I feel like I see on television. And so when you do have an American citizen, because before we talked about race, but right now we're going to talk about the American citizen aspect of things. It's an American citizen that is not just one, it's multiple. See, that's what y'all gotta understand. One is one thing, multiples a whole nother conversation. Uh American citizens who have been harmed by ICE. Now, I'll say this. As an American citizen, I'm not about to put myself in the middle of harm because I should know better as an American citizen. I should know better. Hang on, y'all. Um, and I understand this protest stuff, but people, this is the thing. These protests are a bunch of nonsense too. Like, if you really want to change some stuff, change it. You know what I mean? Folks is over here not doing what they supposed to do. I'm just saying. I don't know about the protesting part. I feel like it's a waste of my time. Not saying that people don't have a right to protest. Ooh, these sandwiches look good, Ayana. You awake? Ayana. Oh, you sleep? All right, food's ready. I'm sorry, it's a little late. It is ready. I'm sorry, y'all. I hooked these little sandwiches up. My man was like, look, you're gonna have to give me one of them. Show. Ooh. It look good. It smells good. Watch it be good. Mm-mm. All right, sorry, y'all. And I could have put some banana peppers on this too. Hang on. I gotta focus with this kid fat. Here, both. You need a napkin. You should put a thumbs up. These sandwiches is fire. Hang on, y'all. I'm gonna have to do a part 3.